I gotta get a new camera. Where you find the link so we can send it out?
Yeah, we're right here. We live now.
The
Um,
next week, what?
The link
Send
so
it
I
out.
can post it.
Let me see. Let's see. Let's see. Let me go to go next. And it says we're live right now, so just go to the Garden Knicks page. Matter of fact, I'm gonna send it to the chat. Send
Oh,
it
we
to the
live.
chat. We live, baby.
We live right now. What's up, Nick Nation?
What's going on,
Oh,
family? Knicks family. Welcome back to the
yeah.
Garden Knicks podcast.
Sure.
We getting everything going. We're waiting for everybody to join up a little bit.
Ooh, I'm gonna send this out to everybody. Everybody gonna see me out here live. I'm gonna send it out to
Garden Knicks
cousin.
podcast. We're getting everything going. We're waiting for everybody to join up a little bit.
You paying the back? Oh. When you join it live, that's what you see. You a little bit behind.
Yeah, we're
Yeah,
fine with
it
that.
is a delay. That's cool.
And they're gonna hear all of that talk too.
We
That's all
starting
right.
out. We new. Come on, let's go. Let's get into it, man.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, yeah. I copied the. Anyway,
No, you go. This is live. This ain't no structured, none like that. Live. We here for the people. We here for the people. We're here for the people. Should get a couple people in here. We should be ready to go.
I'm gonna blast this joint like crazy. Everybody gonna be in there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, everybody come up in here.
All right. Okay. So start it up. So yeah. Of course, the Knicks won yesterday. They beat the Indiana Pacers
Give it up
106.
to Nick. Coming out. Look, you got the tickets that we're gonna cross the bottom. I love you, Cap. I haven't told you that.
You know what I'm
I love that,
saying?
Cap.
Chill out, dude.
You know what I'm saying?
But
Word.
yeah,
Got
man.
tickets
But
to Nick.
we beat the Pacers 106 to 102. Um, that was a big game, man. That was a big game.
It was a close one.
It was a close one the entire game, kind of like the first one. The first one really didn't break away into the last quarter.
Yeah,
And then they went crazy on us. But yeah, it was a tough game, and these guys stuck it out. A lot of these guys look really really good. You know what I mean? Tibbs got his hand on everything, man. It really looks like something that can be very consistent. Might dare I say playoffs? You know what I mean? And not a play-in position. You know, a real contending team. You know, that's what it kind of looks like. But what you guys think about the game?
I thought it was a good game because again, they didn't put together like a full good game like with like what do we have 15 turnovers.
I think so, something like that. Was it 15 turnovers? Let me double check that. We
Yeah,
had as a
15.
team 15 turnovers. Yeah.
Yeah,
hmm
yeah,
Yeah.
15 turnovers. And so and Tibbs even said something to that effect about how we got to clean up. I think because I don't know if the Pacers. I don't know if it matters. I don't know if the Pacers is one of the top teams,
hmm
but I think everybody is still early. Some people haven't gotten practices in. Uh, Austin hasn't done any practices. He said I noticed that.
Right. He still
You
hasn't
know,
practiced yet.
but I'm excited about him being. I'm excited about him being a veteran for the squad though. But he attacks the basket. He's gritty.
hmm
I like his attitude. Like I'm becoming a real fan of his. You know what I mean? So
hmm
it's exciting to see him play and all of that. What you thought about though, Ricky? I don't want to take too much.
no, I thought I thought the game was. I don't know if I'm just biased to the Knicks or if the refs really just got it out for us because it just seemed like they were calling some a one-sided game, and I was like,
Yeah,
all right, well, if the refs stay
Definitely.
exactly where they are, then when we switch at halftime, we'll start getting some of these calls. But it really didn't seem like um, the calls were any better. So
yeah,
I think Randall got away with a charge that they called a blocking foul. I think that was the only call that
that was definitely a
could.
charge.
Yeah, I think that's the only call that we got that we probably shouldn't have gotten. But
Hmm.
everything else, it just seemed like they were letting them play sometimes, and then other times they were calling it really close.
Okay.
But outside of that, the game was really close. I think Indiana's a tough team for the Knicks to play up against. I think there are certain matchups that are even, and some that are lopsided that just gives any team a chance at winning. So
Right.
um, I was nervous. I
At
can't
one point,
Yeah.
I can't
yeah, but
lie. I was nervous.
it's one of those. One of the things I was happy about though, like they didn't like lose. You know how like the third quarter, fourth quarter, they collapse and they
Yeah.
Yeah,
end up losing the game, and it's like like they just totally gave it up. But what they did in this game, they kept it close the whole time, and I'm like, yo, we about to win this one, like you know. But
Yeah.
they like you said, the thing about the refs, like one that I noticed, he said that Austin Rivers stepped out, like he didn't step out.
yeah, he
He didn't
did.
step
Yeah,
out. He didn't
they
step
have
out.
the video too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right,
Hmm.
and I'm looking at it like I rewound it a couple times. Like, all right, am I tripping? Like, how close does he have to be for it to look like? And I'm like, why would he call it out
Right.
if he didn't step out? Like,
yeah,
how do you not sure you saw that?
because he didn't
Hmm.
see it.
I was watching that and I was like tripping, like, yo, these guys are bugging out
There
here.
was another play like that. The I think when IQ had the ball in the corner, and
Mhm.
Tibbs called timeout at the end of the game,
Yeah,
and
and
then
they
they
said
act
he
like
didn't.
they said they didn't call timeout, and he clearly
Yeah,
did. You
Yeah,
know.
like he was
yeah,
calling timeout, the ref standing right there in front of him,
Right. Yeah.
and then he
yeah,
called
That
a
was.
jump ball. I deal that
Then they
was
call a jump ball. Yeah. You know, and that was. And that's what happens when and you if you look at the way they called all of those fouls for Oladipo was just ridiculous.
yeah.
It,
Back to back. He
it
got three back to back consecutive.
that was ridiculous. Like it was hard to watch. That was very very hard to watch because it was annoying because he barely would even get any contact before they were calling the whistle. You know what I mean? I'm like,
Exactly.
at what point did he foul? And a lot of those times they didn't show a replay. You know what I mean? So it was kind of like, okay, I see what you're doing there. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? But I think how did he shot terrible last night?
yeah. He wasn't good.
Oladipo.
Oladipo.
Oladipo shot 3 for 16. He only made 3 shots the entire game.
Wow.
Most of his points was from the foul line.
Yeah, he was 8 for 11 from the foul line. That's the only reason why he had 16 points. So you know what I mean? They were just calling everything. But one person that did have a good game tonight was RJ Barrett. He had 25 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists. He shot 8 for 15 from the field. That's above 50%, which he needs to do and stay consistent at 4 for 5 from the 3-point line.
Yeah,
And I don't know if that's attributed to it being the Pacers arena, as they said a lot during the game, because obviously he shot. I think he didn't miss a shot when they played against the Pacers the first time from the 3-point line, and now you went 4 for 7 last night. So that's something that they were trying to joke and say that every game should be in the Indiana. So but regardless, it was good for him to have a bounce back game after missing 21 straight jump shots. 4 games, that was ridiculous. He didn't make any jump shots since the first game, actually, or from 3. He didn't make any 3-pointers since the first game. But it was always an encouraging sign to see him shoot 5 for 6 from the free throw line, of course, because that was the biggest cause for worry last year. He he couldn't knock down a free throw. So that's just how it was. Yeah, Knicks got no respect from the refs last night at all.
Who
But
that?
Got
Tune,
no
tell your boy
respect.
to lock off because he tried to destroy me last week. He cheated all on the fantasy league. Nah, box on, bye.
Speaking of
Bye.
which, Dre, I think I'm beating both of y'all. Did y'all start your
Oh,
lineups?
shut
What's
up,
going
man.
on? What's going
What
on
you
with
talking
you
about?
guys,
Hey,
fellas?
because
I know
I
you
ain't put my
spanked me,
squad in
man.
on Tuesday. It was like Monday and Tuesday. I forgot to put my squad in there. And you lucky. You lucked out. You lucked out.
Somebody
You my
always
little brother. I
forget.
just wanted to
Yo,
show
whose fault
love.
is
That's
that?
all it was.
But anyway, man,
No love.
listen. Anyway,
Appreciate you, boy. Look at you. You got
Knicks.
the tickets down here. I knew it.
Yo,
So I'm trying to
listen.
make sure you get a W this week, man. I can't win
Come on,
everything.
man. Whatever, man. It's cool. But you know who did win last night, of course, was the Knicks. So we're gonna keep it there. You know what I'm saying? But like Toon said, they got no respect from the refs. They got no respect, and it was annoying to see.
It
But
seemed like they had the home court advantage when it came to the refs.
Yeah, that was a rift. There was a big rift. Those refs out
Big
there.
rift,
You know
man.
what I'm saying? But anyway, back to RJ. What did you guys see from RJ?
RJ is like one of them dudes. He runs downhill. He goes to the basket. I like the fact that he's left-handed out there. Seems like he get a little bit of an advantage because of that. I was nervous at the end of the game when he knocked down those last 4 free throws. You know that hasn't been a strong point, so I was down there like, yo, this dude about to knock down one. He gonna miss both. But so he stepped it up, and I think that
and he knocked both of them down.
He knocked both of them down on both. Yeah. So I was really excited. I was happy for him. That maybe that's that thing that he, it just seems like when the game is on the line, that boy's focused, and he got that face. He always look nervous before the ball comes, so he standing looking at the ref like, the ref be holding. He be like, and he got the little sleepy face, and he just
he does, man.
Yeah, he has that face. No matter what's going on, he has that same face.
He look like he a little sleepy out there.
Good, man. It's good. That's
he remind me of McGrady. That's probably why he's one of my favorite players. McGrady, McGrady is my guy.
RJ's one of your favorite players right now?
Yeah, for sure. Young players, yeah.
I feel like the jury's still out a little bit. I think the boy got something. I think he's good. I don't know how.
I think most of it is up here, and I think with time, you'll see how those kind of players turn out because they work on their weaknesses every single year, you know what I mean? So, right. But what about you? What about you, Rick? What you think of the game?
I think he's confident in his skills. I just think sometimes the ball doesn't fall, but I think he stays committed. He works hard. He's always moving. I think he's going to be an incredible player once he figures it out, because he'll have a mind-blowing game one day, and then the next day he'll go 0 for 7 on his first 7 shots, and it's kind of like, what happened? I thought you figured it out, but
right.
I expect a lot of good things from him. So
yeah, that's good. Yeah, I think. Go ahead.
Also, I think a lot of times these dudes, one of the things that annoys me, I know this is a 3-point league right now, but I think that dudes need to step inside a little bit and get their shot off, like warm up a little bit. Everybody's jacking up threes. Like a lot of times we don't need them. Step inside, if it's wide open, yeah, you know what I'm saying. Sometimes you can get one step on a dude, stop and pop, but it just seems like it's the 3 or the basket. Like nobody's taking like a little 15-footer or nothing like that. Not nobody, but a lot of times you can see more of that versus what these dudes are doing. They just throwing up threes. If we down 7 or something like that at the beginning of the fourth quarter, everybody's trying to win the game in the beginning of the fourth quarter. But like you said, Kat, what you alluded to is that I think Thibodeau really got these guys playing a better brand of basketball.
Yeah, I think there's an emphasis on more shooting with these guys. They shot 44% from the three-point line last night, which is really good. 12 of 27. So, the Knicks.
12 of 27?
Yeah, 12 from 27 from the field, from the 3-point line.
Oh, okay.
That sound all right?
I thought you were saying free throw. When it's 12 or 27.
Oh, no. I said from the 3-point line. Free throws, they were 10 and 13. They only missed 3 the entire game. I would like for them to get to the free throw line more, but that's another story. You know what I mean? But 12 27 from the 3-point line. So there's an emphasis on them shooting more threes. So I can see why they're taking so much more. But like you said, if they're not falling, you got to step in. You know what I mean? But
your boy was attacking the basket a lot.
Who?
Your favorite player, Alfred.
Alfred?
Yeah, he was attacking the basket.
Why does he have to be my favorite player?
Because that's point guard. That's your starting point guard.
That is not my starting point guard. Listen. Don't listen. We got people watching. Don't spread any false narratives, okay? I never ever wanted that guy to be my starter.
So check it out. So one thing I think about.
Let's talk about him.
Yeah, real quick. So Alfred did his thing, and I feel like for somebody like Alfred, if you can't shoot, like he can't shoot, I
Right.
think he's got to do that. I think he's got to be aggressive and attack the basket. He's got to play. He's got to play D and
Hmm.
attack the basket. And I think he did that. He was attacking the basket. He was finishing.
Hmm.
And I'm like, okay, let's go, Alfred. You know how like you watching the game, you get nervous. Like here he go.
Yeah,
He shot
yeah,
shots, and it's like his shots be way off. They not even like how, like it's like in and out, like it rims out. Like you could tell somebody shoot by the way they miss.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
just
yeah.
off the backboard. It's just like air balls. I'm like, damn.
It's like you can
Yeah,
tell by sometimes he'll take a shot, and just by the way he plants his feet, I'm like, yeah, that's off. I can already
It's
see
off. It
it's
look like
not
he's
even
pushing
going
it.
in.
He's way off. It's just like it's like a newbie shooting the ball every time. I'm like, how you been in the league like this long? Oh
but
man,
you
I
know,
can go out there and shoot like that.
with IQ coming in, all of a sudden his shots starting to fall. His numbers as
All
far
of a
as
sudden, yeah.
points started to increase. He's all of a sudden a scoring guard. So what do you think about that?
I mean, the thing about Alfred to me has always been okay. If you're going to play as consistently as you can play every single game, I'm fine with you being the starting guard. But if there's a guard better than you that brings more to the game than you can, I feel like until you prove otherwise that they should have the ability to start. You know what I mean? IQ didn't. His numbers weren't amazing. He also only played 15 minutes, but he had
Mhm.
nine points, 1 rebound, 2 assists. But the thing that I love the most is just how much he can draw fouls and draw contacts like very easily because he's so fast and shifty. You have to respect his jump shot, so you have to stay on his hip, and all he has to do is act like he's going to go up, and that's a foul. Whether it's going to be a foul on the floor or it's going to be a foul, a shooting foul. That's something you want because at the end of the day, there's going to be times where they're in the penalty, and he starts
Yeah,
drawing those fouls, and he's going to the line every time. And he's what 90% shooter from the free throw line.
yeah, he's a shooter.
So,
So
what about you, Dre? What you think
I
about
like
IQ
it.
returning?
I like it. I noticed they gave a lot of minutes to Alfred. I guess it was because it was IQ's first game back, and like you said,
Mhm.
it seemed like they were trying to, like you said, Ricky. It seemed like Alfred is like, nah, they got quickly back. I gotta show out tonight. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So I think he was attacking the basket, and I'll take any one of them. I see regular Joes in here. I take any one of them dudes going to the basket because I believe in that. Like I feel like you
Mhm.
gotta attack the basket and get in there and draw some fouls. Like Emmanuel quickly got like a thing about it, like you said. He
Yeah,
got like a thing. You know how to draw the fouls. So I
yeah,
was really liking that, and but it forces teams to, like when somebody's in foul trouble, you get in there and attack that basket, man. I
yeah,
saw what's his name was falling back a little bit. What's the big man name down there in the paint for
Robinson.
these dudes?
Oh,
No,
Oh,
Sabonis.
Sabonis was frustrated down there. You saw
he
Yeah,
him?
was frustrating.
yeah, he
Yeah,
was upset.
yeah, that was another
What's the big man name down there? I'm looking at the joint.
Turner.
Can you?
Miles
Yeah,
Turner.
yeah, yeah, Miles Turner. So
Hmm.
he got the foul trouble. So you saw him back off a little bit. But that's
Yeah,
what you got to take like the
Yeah,
easy path.
exactly.
You gonna back off, go at him. You know
yeah,
what I mean? And
exactly.
so when Miles Turner. So when IQ is attacking the basket, RJ's attacking the basket, and Alfred is attacking the basket, that puts pressure. So that means our point guards are always putting pressure on the defense, and it
Hmm.
creates a and like God, I don't want to jump, but I was gonna talk about the way they pass the ball when they get in the paint. That's
Um, real quick, Toon asked a question. Shout out to the Cuzzo, Stephen Toon. That's the family right there. Um, he asked, should we get rid of Peyton, DSJ, or Frank? My immediate reaction is DSJ.
off the rip. We don't even need him anymore.
There's no
I don't
reason
know
for
what
him to
we get
be here.
for him. I don't know what we get from him, but I guess that's all what this is all about. What we get because these dudes, if they play like this, my thing again, consistency. We got to be consistent.
Mhm.
So if Alfred is going to be attacking the basket, and we can get 15 points out of him, five assists.
Mhm.
I don't know what point guard you're gonna come and grab and get it, but I know that IQ he could drop 20 if
The
that
thing
boy get it.
about IQ is even with Alfred playing as well as he can play, IQ is so effective that you still have to give him the equal amount of minutes.
Yeah,
You know what I
DSJ
mean?
is out. He already. Well,
DSJ is out. I think Frank is the guy, the third string guard that, if there's an injury or if there's garbage time, you'll see him on the floor. If you need that lockdown player, you'll see him on the floor. I don't
If you
see him
need that
getting
the
many.
last few seconds of defense,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
Frank.
yeah. You're not gonna see him get a lot of consistent minutes, but he'll get. I can see him getting 8 to 10 minutes a game. You know what I mean? And I honestly think he'd be fine with that. I mean, of course, he would want to be somewhere getting a lot of minutes, but where is that? So
Right.
I don't know about Frank, but DSJ to me is he's gone. He's a goner.
Yeah, DSJ for sure.
Yeah,
I think Peyton he worked
he-
on his game. He's got a little something going right now. It's worth more to us than what DSJ gives us. Frank, in the few minutes that he gets each game, he's been shooting, which
Yeah,
is what we've been begging him to do all last season. Now that there's new point guards here, he's starting to shoot. So it's like
yeah.
whatever Peyton was drinking now, um, we got Frank drinking the same thing, and they're showing that they can score now. So
Mm.
DSJ and Frank can go, but if it's out of those three, who needs to leave completely? DSJ's got my vote, unfortunately.
Yo, Dre, what up, baby? I see you in here in the chat. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, he
yeah.
keep his eyes closed, and as you see his pretty, he keep his eyes closed. He got pretty eyes. He don't want people seeing his eyes.
You got you got pretty eyes. But
But
we
yeah, Frank
got
probably is the better defender, but he's not. He's not confident. Just to answer Dre's question real quick, he's not confident on the offensive end. He won't take the shot, so they ain't
yeah.
gonna put Frank out there.
We're not gonna put Frank out there. Um, Mitch played a huge game because he was all over the place. It was almost like he took that last game personal. You know what I mean? Because Sabonis went crazy on us as he usually does. But I feel like with Tom Thibodeau, um, Mitch is really learning the nuances of how to defend. Real big time centers. Mitch had 16 points, 9 rebounds, one assist. He was 8 for 10 for the field, 2 blocks. You know what I mean? And he only had 3 fouls. But the thing that he was all over the boards. He had, I think, eight of his points came off of putbacks. Just off of rebounds and going right back up or putbacks. And they were, a lot of them they were calling. They were trying to say that he was touching the ball while it was still in the cylinder. But I think those are a
Haters
lot of
gonna
those were
hate.
clean. Yeah,
Mitch,
haters going to hate.
the way they used Mitch, man, he was getting all them shots that like what was he? He was like 7 for 7 at one point.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yep.
He was 100% until he missed one layup. He missed a couple shots, and then they what I like about the way they using Mitch is he's not that center that could create his own shot yet.
Mhm.
So it's got to be Lob City for him, and
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
exactly
yeah.
why they're using him. But that boy was out there; he was all over the place, man. I think Mitch got a future. I like
He's
that.
got a
Yeah,
feature. I would like.
and normally, so go
Mhm.
ahead.
No. Go ahead. I already spoke
I was
about
gonna say normally he has like a minus for the game, but he had the highest plus minus points from the entire team, which
it.
is
Yeah.
a huge improvement.
Hmm.
He's learning not to jump so eagerly to block.
Yeah,
Hmm.
right.
He's being real patient with it. He's timing it, and he's getting um, to stay out of foul trouble, which is what we needed him to do for
That's
so
Right.
long. So
and he
so yeah,
got that
he's coming around.
last block shot at the end of the game. That was the
Yeah,
best, right?
needed
That
that
was
one
that play was huge. You know what I
Because
mean?
exactly.
And he's
Brogdon
starting
was
to look
he
around.
was feeling good the whole game. So when he got that block there, like that was a big deal, man. I was happy with that.
Yeah.
Saw them
Yeah, that
dapping
was
him up
huge.
at the end of the game. And Mitch always does that thing when you block shots. He's always like,
Yeah, you shake his head like,
Yeah,
yeah. I swear to you, he does that no matter what happens. Anytime the whistle blows, look at
he's like,
Mitch. He
no,
goes,
no.
yeah.
You know he's gonna,
and I'm like, what are you shaking your head at, Mitch?
like, what was that, Mitch?
Because they be talking on the court, so
Mitch just takes a lot of it personal. It's funny. It's funny to watch Mitch though, but you gotta love it because he wears his heart in his sleeve.
yeah.
But with Sabonis only had 13 points tonight, so they really kept him down. They shut him down. I see it at some point. Him and Miles Turner, I don't know what Nerlens Noel said to either one of them, but they were literally like taking offensive fouls just to hurt him at some point. And I was like, yeah, I don't know what he said to them, but keep at it. Like, I'm fine with that. You know
I
what I
don't even
mean?
think he talks.
Nah, he did something. He did something because Nerlens Noel is pumped when he takes the ball and he drives it from the 3-point line all the way to the basket. And I was like, all right, somebody said something to Derlins because that's not part of his package at all. You know what I mean? That's not what he does. But you know what I mean? It's just, I guess he took to heart because they bullied them. They really bullied them last time.
The last time, yeah.
They really bullied them last time. But you know,
Well, that was Tibbs. He
it
talked
was
about
funny.
that. He's like,
It
he
was
was
a funny
happy
thing to see.
that
But you
they
know,
made those adjustments. You know?
yeah. Speaking of adjustments, my man Julius, he didn't really do too much. They doubled him at every point of the game. I think from jump ball they had him doubled. You know what I mean? And he still adjusted. He still came out and had 11 rebounds and 8 assists. He had 12 points, but he didn't really shoot too well until you know the I guess the second half.
Third
you know
quarter,
what I mean? And ended up with 12 points. You know, but what you guys see from Julius tonight?
He didn't do too many spin moves that night.
That's always going to be a plus, right? No spin moves.
Yeah, if you don't see him do a whole lot. So I seen what he's doing, and I think Josh, you talked about this earlier. It just seems like the recipe for him is just pass the rock. Like we actually got shooters now.
Yeah,
I mean,
finally. I mean, people who can hit shots.
You know, it depends on the night. But like some of these dudes could shoot now. So like if he's passing it to Burks, whenever I'm like praying for him to get better. But if he's passing it to Burks, because what's his name was knocking down shots. Rivers was knocking them down, like knocking down them threes.
We don't have a lot. We don't have a lot of snipers, but we have enough shooters that if one's off, someone else is gonna be on.
Someone else is on, and so that's what it looks like.
Knox was definitely
Oh boy, we'll get to Knox.
He shot an air ball, and I think they called him out. They were like, "All right, that's it."
Oh, they pulled him right after that.
Yep.
Like that. That would have been me as the coach. I'd have called the timeout just like I'd be like, Kevin, yo, come on, Kevin. You know, I ain't you know, he's just one of those dudes though. But he's one of those.
Hit him with the Home Alone, Kevin.
He's one of those dudes that when he's cold, you gotta pull him out quick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
you know He's one of those. It looked like it hurts his confidence, and he's never gonna pull it together. You know, he tried.
You keep him out there too long and shooting that many bricks, he'll have a bad couple games, etc. Yeah, he
gotta go in hot, and you could see that he was like, man, after one of them joints he did, and he was just like, they pulled him out. I don't think you saw him after that. He might have came back, and I don't remember.
Cool,
but
he only played 15 minutes. He only played 15 minutes, and he had 0 points. What did he shoot? Let's look at that again. Knox he was 0 for 4, 0 for 4 from the field, 0 for 3 from the 3-point line.
Man,
so he was an offer. He was an offer tonight.
But the thing is, he has more than just shooting. I know he loves to shoot, but he can drive. He can draw defense.
Right.
I don't know why he settles for just a 3. I really don't.
Right.
I always feel like it's like the video game syndrome. Everybody just feel like if you can shoot, that's it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like everybody just wants to shoot threes, and he's like he could dominate. He's tall. He's long. He could dunk on somebody. Like go in there, man, get in the paint. And make somebody scared of you. That's one of the things. Like make people afraid of you in that paint.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then what happened?
No, I'm reading the comments.
What he said?
Knox gonna cry in the car.
Yeah, that's what Knox seemed like, that type of dude too.
Yeah, he does. The thing about Knox is you got to pull him early because, like you said, his confidence will get all turned up and turned down really, and it's hard to pull him out of that slump, as you saw last season. You pull him out of you get him in, you get him sitting down, talk to him, and you try to. I don't know what it is. Like I said last game after we won, I said, did we win that last game? No, no. Did we win versus? No, we lost versus the Raptors. But like I said, it was in Tampa. So I said, I hope every game we play is in Tampa because that's the only time we're really going to see Knox this aggressive because he looked amazing that game.
Yeah. Like regular Joe just mentioned, though, he did hurt his hand that other game. He said he ain't been shooting.
That's true. That's true. Very, very, very true. He did hurt his hand the other game. And then actually during that game, he hurt his hand. And when he came back in the game, I think he shot an air ball after his first shot after that was an air ball. So you're definitely right about that, So I'm gonna be easy on Knox, Joe. I'll be easy on him. But you know how we are. You know how we are with Knox.
The profile pic too.
Nice, yeah. That's a nice little
with the mauve shirt. You know what I'm saying?
The mauve, the mauve.
It's not pink. That's mauve, man.
That's mauve.
Fans gonna be wearing pink. We rock it. You know what I'm saying? It's gotta be mauve.
We rocked them all. Um, the last person I really want to talk about, who had a pretty good game, of course, was my man Austin Rivers.
Mm.
Um, he
He's
had
my favorite. He keep that up.
yeah. I mean, I said from the first time he was on camera that he's a Nick favorite already. You know, he's my favorite guy just from his attitude and what he talks about. But he had 15 points, 6 for 9 from the field, 3 for 6 from the 3 point line, and he's just effective. You know, like you said earlier, he hasn't played. He hasn't had one practice with these guys. The only time he's played on the court with these guys was the last 2 games, and to be that effective in those games where you
That
don't know
quick,
the
right?
system, you don't
Yeah,
know the system, you don't know the sets, you don't, you know what I mean. I mean, of course, I'm sure he's walking them through it, you know, but at the end of the day, for you to still be this effective, you know what I mean, shows a lot of growth from him. So what you guys think about what you saw from Austin?
he attacks the basket. He gets in there. He's a gritty player. You know what I mean? He's chasing the ball down. He's diving on the floor for the ball. So he's like that type of player.
Mhm.
I just feel like he comes from that pedigree of just like high IQ basketball, and that's what I like about him and his attitude about the Knicks. I think that moving forward, he's going to be a reason that we do get like that marquee player
Mhm.
next like years down the line. I think people when they see the squad and they see the coach and they're gonna look at him and be like, all right, I can play with these dudes.
Yeah.
You know what that dude leads. So I like him so far. 2 games in, 2 games that he played. He didn't play like a lot of. I think he played more minutes than he ever did last night. What do you have? How many minutes he had? Austin Rivers.
Yeah,
I'm
it
not
Seven.
seems like
sure.
He had
seems
17
that
minutes.
way.
He
Yeah,
had 17 minutes, so he had some nights, and he was shooting. And I never known him to be like you said, like a sniper, but he was knocking down them threes, man. So,
yeah,
like, if he keeps that up again, consistency. If he keeps playing like that, the Knicks, I think they'll be straight.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? What you about to
yeah.
show us, Cat? Okay, about to show us.
I was giving Austin a hard time. I was just like, yo, whatever. But he came in. He chose his shots, and because he wasn't just shooting to shoot, he 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 shot with accuracy, and
Whack.
he hit
See
the
that?
shots. Yeah. So it's just like, and it was with ease. You know what I mean? Team player thinking. His last play of the game was my favorite when he drove, took it to the left, and then
Oh
drove
yeah, he hurt his
right.
neck on that one. That boy scared me.
Oh, when he hurt his neck on this fall right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a scary play. But that I know the play that you're talking about, Rick, when he I think it was Oladipo
Yeah,
where he hit him with
Oladipo
like a
jumped to the left real quick, and then he drove left. I mean, he jumped to the right, he drove left, and then brought it in on Turner to the right. And I was just like, that's just a smart play.
yeah.
Just he didn't force anything. He looked to see what it was. And the thing is, it was him against I think four players. I don't even know what the rest of the Knicks were.
I think it was 3 guys. It was him and like this play right here, man. His jab
Jab
step
step.
is
Yeah, yeah,
ridiculous. Oh my goodness.
yeah.
Jab
That
step.
jab step is crazy. And that was kind of
They were sleeping
it's
on him.
the shiftiness that he
Here
has
it
is
is, right
very,
here. Here
very
it is.
creative. Boom,
There's
gone.
two other Knicks. The other one is just
Oh yeah.
like
Yeah, all 5 of them
He
really
did
on it.
the
exactly.
euro
So
right
I'm just
there.
like, where the rest of the team at? So even if it wasn't a good shot, like he didn't like it, he could have swung out, and there would have been a 3 point shot right there. So I
Wow.
like that selection. That was my favorite play from him.
Yeah, yeah. He looks like a guy who's going to be very effective, especially once he gets to know the system, and gets familiar with playing with these guys. And he looks like a high IQ player. You know what I mean? I don't think he
That's what
gets.
I mean. Like that, he knows basketball. Like he's smarter than these young bloods. Right
Yeah,
there.
he doesn't get as much credit as he deserves for being, as high IQ of a player as he is. And this
Right.
this guy this was the play by
Yeah. Right.
right
Even getting the
there.
pass off was just great.
Yeah, yeah. That play by Mitch getting that block. Man, I want to run that back. Hold on. Can I run that back real quick?
Yeah, see if we can run that back.
Let me run that
Yeah.
back real
But
quick.
but Austin doesn't seem like somebody who
Right
is
there.
going to get like a lot of points in a game, but he definitely will make so much of a difference that the teams will win because of what he does on the floor. So I'm,
Right.
I'm looking forward to what he can do.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, man. It's very exciting to see, these guys really, bring it together. Tom Thibodeau looks like he has a good idea of what's gonna be going on. with this team, and it was funny at the end of the game. They asked him about quickly, and he had a little chuckle. But I think the chuckle was because he said quickly, and whatever he was, he said I think he'll adjust quickly, and then he's like, but it's weird, you never really see him laugh. Yeah, you never really see him laugh or chuckle at all. So it was, he was a little happy. That's weird to see Tom Thibodeau actually show some excitement.
If
On
you
that
top
level.
though, you kind of excited. You got like these young kids playing good basketball. And so I'm fresh with a clean slate with a lot of them. Like we still don't have Obi Toppin in there.
Yeah,
So I'm curious as to how that's going to turn out. I'm not a big fan right now of what's now. I keep telling you he's scared. Nerlens Noel.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because like if Mitch could stay out of foul trouble, you're gonna get. I guess he's gonna keep him in there and keep him in there. But Nerlens looks scared a little bit.
He looks frail. He looks like he's scared to hurt himself. He looks like he's scared to hurt himself.
Yeah,
exactly.
He looks frail out there, and I hope as a backup, I'm not too mad because he's always been a backup. But before the season, they were saying they didn't know who they were going to start, and I was like, please God, don't let it be Nerlens Noel. But
I mean, I'm excited for Obi to get back and get some of those minutes, man. Honestly, because he needs to play those backup minutes next to Randall. Because if you can have somebody like Obi out there with Randall, I'm kind of excited, to be honest. Randall has been great, and if he and Obi can play well next to each other, I think that bodes well for at least that first year. You know what I mean? But whatever we can do, I don't know what that means long term, because I don't think he can take Mitch's spot. And I'm not necessarily sure we can say that Obi's potential is a backup to either Randall or Mitch. So at some point, we're gonna have to see him, premiered at some high post, moves, pick and rolls and stuff like that, where he can be effective instead of just being out there in the perimeter. But the fact that he can be out there in the perimeter is something that helps Randall, because Randall likes to be in the paint, and you can't double team Randall when you got Obi standing out there on the perimeter. So, I'm excited to see him
together and how they move people around in
there. Yeah.
So this is one of those games that how like the Knicks been losing like games that they should win. Like this is the game close. We in there like these are the games we got to get. Like when you play like these teams that's a lot better than us that you're not supposed to win. Like we beat the Bucks, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
These those little games, like you got to get these games where we could win, like against Orlando or something. Some of these teams are doing well. You know what I'm saying? The Hawks are doing better, but I don't care. A lot of these teams we're supposed to be beating them. It looks like our identity right now is that defense. You know what I'm saying? Get to the basket. You know what I mean? I'm not sure offensively what it is yet. Again, we only 5-6 games in. But, these games are the ones we need to win. We need to stop having these. We collapsed against like the worst teams in the league. Stuff like that. I know teams usually play up or they play down to their competition. But if they again be consistent with that defense or whatever the case. But I really like having Mitch in there, and I do like having Nerlens in there because you got that big man, and you see they change a lot of these other guys' shots. And when they do that cuts them out. As soon as they think they're coming in the paint getting something for free, you see Mitch coming. But the only thing is, he gonna jump. But I've seen him, like you said, he adjusted. It looked like they told him to stop jumping.
Yeah,
and he go up there.
He looks like
he
looks a lot better.
And he scares them. But they always gonna jump. You're always gonna get somebody to jump. But they looking good out there. I think I'm proud we got Thibodeau. I know we were talking about other coaches we could have got, but I'm happy we got Thibodeau and the coaching staff. The coaching staff is doing their thing and look like
I love that, and that's what I said from beginning. I said I'm most excited. I know we don't have the players to sit here and say, "Oh, we got a playoff team," but I always said that our staff is the type of staff that will make sure that we're going to play great basketball every night, and I won't be surprised.
We're gonna be the 6th seed this year. Mark my word.
I would like to be.
All right, so I would like to be the 6th seed, and I can see that happening if we can stay consistent, especially if we can get these guys back that we don't even have yet and still play better. I think it's possible, seeing the teams that we beat and how we beat them by staying in the game, and winning in the fourth quarter and the third quarter. Second half hasn't been a weakness for us the past couple games, and that's been our biggest fault for the past 5, 6, 7 years.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
For sure.
So I'm pretty excited. I think we can do a 6th seed, but I don't want to jump the gun right now. I'm gonna say 8th seed, and that's the playoffs.
I don't want to be there, man.
I don't want to be there, but I'll take it. I'll take it. I'll take that lesson for these guys. To be honest, with
Yeah,
with Thibodeau, I'm not afraid about who we be playing. To be honest,
right.
because like
I
you
think if
said,
we get there, then Thibodeau's gonna have him. He gonna have him ready, set, and ready to go.
yeah, and Thibodeau is say if the first seed is Milwaukee again, and we saw what we did against Milwaukee. I don't think we'll blow them out every game, but I do think Tibbs can coach these guys in a series to have the same to be in a series. He's the kind of coach you want to have to be in a series with anybody else because he'll figure out every single weakness that you have before that series is over and exploit it.
Mm.
You know what I mean? So I'm not worried about where we land in the playoffs. So I'm fine with a seed, but I do think we can reach the 6th seed. You know what I mean? Soon said, how about moving top into small forward? I mean, the way he's playing more like a small forward. You know what I mean? He's shooting a lot out
I
there.
don't like him I don't like having him shoot. Like he has a high arcing shot. I don't like the way it looks. It falls, yes, but like I think his excitement is when he's in the paint and
Yeah.
he's dunking on people. Like I think he needs to find a way where they can run pick and rolls with him so that he can get that opportunity to do just that.
Right, treat him
Yeah.
like Mitch,
So
like how they doing the Live City with Mitch, something like that. You think?
Yeah, I mean something from the high post at least. You know what I mean? If he
yeah,
if you can give him the ball, just under the 3-point line, and have him run some, spread it out. And I don't think there's any power forwards that'll be able to keep up with him on one-on-one. If he just hits you with a jab step and he drives, you have to foul him because he's fast, he's athletic. You know what I mean? And I think that's somewhere where he can exploit. And if you're going to drop back on him, he can hit the mid range, and that's the shot I'd rather him take instead of that 3-point.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
sure.
So I'd rather him in the high post because of that reason. Because if you're going to take any shot, take a higher percentage mid range before you start stepping out to the 3-point and trying to knock down these high arcing shots from 30 feet. You know what I mean? But I'm excited. I don't want to rush him back, but I do hope that they're coaching him. He does look like a very cerebral player, though. He looks like somebody that, with every game, he's looked like he's soaking everything in that these guys are teaching him. You know what I mean? And that's a fact. Like we always say, he's always gonna have these guys prepared. You know what I mean? From him, from Tibbs to Mike Woodson, Johnny Bryant, all these guys, Kenny Payne, these guys that have these guys trained and ready for whatever they got.
What's Obi's situation now though? Because I know he was supposed to be reevaluated, and
Yeah,
I think they said that this is the 7th day, so I think they said 7 to 10 days he'll be reevaluated. So I guess within a day or two, we'll hear something about Obi.
What I'm happy about is that it doesn't look like they're suffering without him. They figured everything out. You know what I mean? However, he's got to fit in.
Right.
Like if people are like 0 for 6 or something, it's like, all right, somebody help Obi Toppin, somebody get him in there. But
Right.
the Knicks are figuring out how to get things. I mean, we had one really bad game and we lost that one. And we were still close.
All of the games besides for the Philly game was close, honestly.
Yeah.
And that only got bad in the fourth quarter once again. You know what I mean? So I'm very excited from what I'm seeing. Quickly he's back. He's gonna get a lot of these guys. It seems very minuscule, but TJ McConnell has got on my nerves since he has been drafted into the NBA. And every single time he plays us, he finds a way to get a win from doing very small little things. You know what I mean? And seeing Emmanuel quickly get 2 easy fouls on him, just back up. You can't touch him. He's the kind of guy he's too quick. Ironically, you know what I mean? But he's too quick. He has the 3-pointer. You know what I mean? So you have to respect it. But if he drives, he's so fast that he can get to the basket. And so TJ McConnell couldn't keep up with him. I saw it all over his face. TJ McConnell's kind of guy. He usually gets wired, but he was just so, he was kind of like neutralized because it wasn't something, where he's good at, and that's just being aggressive. That's really all he's good at. You can't really tell me something that TJ McConnell is really great at besides for being aggressive. He's kind of like Patrick Beverley without the Patrick Beverleyism in him. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? Without those emotion plays, he can't really do anything. But having a guard like that is something that I missed for so long, man. It's really good to see. It's really good to see. So
he said how they using Obi. Regular Joe say he hate the way they using Obi.
the way we're using him in terms of having him at the 3-point line and
Yeah,
having him
I
out
like
there
that.
shooting a lot of shots and
Yeah, because he
you
had one
know,
game, he shot like 10 of them shits. I was like,
yeah, it was
is
he
this
was
guy
like 0 for
for
9
real?
or 1 for 9, I think. 1
Yo,
for 9
I
for
ain't know what
that
they
was
doing with that
ridiculous.
cat out there.
Yeah,
And
Word.
I think he's the kind of guy once you get out there with Alfred Payton and Emmanuel quickly, you get some practices in with him. You run the pick and roll with him. He's not going to be taking all those shots all game long.
yeah. I hope
You know
not.
what I mean? Yeah. One other
Get him.
thing I wanted to talk about
Yeah,
real
using
quick,
Stoudemire.
yeah, like Stoudemire.
Right.
Before we get out of here,
So we got some more videos. This feel like class.
no, all of a
Yeah.
sudden now, my man
Stephen A. Smith
Stephen
is
A.
on him,
Smith,
right?
he wants to be back. So now he says, "Okay, R.J. Barrett. Okay, Austin Rivers. Okay, New York Knicks. I'm watching. I see y'all. I see y'all playing hard every night
He
and
sound
getting
like a
better
New Yorker.
too. Yeah, I'm watching. I'm watching. Way to go." Now, we've been down this road with Stephen A. before.
Yeah, but he be talking. He be killing the Knicks like whenever they do something.
Yeah, and that's kind of why it's annoying to see him come out of the woodworks all of a sudden want to be a fan again.
He is a
He's
fan.
trying to.
He's
He's trying to
just
set up. He been
he's
a fan. He's
frustrated.
trying to set it up
Yeah,
for when they
he's
are
just
successful.
frustrated.
We make the playoffs.
He is a fan. He is
He's
a
trying to
fan.
be like he was there all along. But he was crying when we got Obi Toppin,
He
wasn't
was
he?
crying when we got over top, and he was
Yeah.
crying. He was crying about everything. He kind of cried when Thibodeau was hired, and this is
He
kind of
cried when
why.
we got Kidd.
And that's the thing. He named everybody except for Thibodeau, and that's like who. Why are these guys playing well? This is you can't really credit each one guy because they were all here last year outside of Austin Rivers. You know what I mean? And what were they really giving you? Nothing. You know what I mean? So clearly, Tom Thibodeau is the reason why these guys are out there playing the way they're playing. So it's hard to give him credit when he wants to come back and be supportive because what he's talked about in the past. He shitted on Thibodeau and didn't really want to give him credit, and now all of a sudden
He was beating up on the Knicks, man.
he was,
Every draft pick, every
he didn't.
coach.
No, he didn't down talk Thibodeau. I don't want to say that, but every single time we get a coach, every single time we get a player, it's not the guy he wants. It's not. He wanted Halliburton. He wanted Halliburton over Obi Toppin, and I mean that. The verdict is clearly still out on that, but we'll see. We'll see what happens where that goes and all of that. You know what I mean?
Right, though.
Yeah. And I think the biggest news. I mean, if you really want to talk about news in New York right now, let me see something real quick. If you look at the standings right now,
It's early, but just take a look at them.
it's early, but right now we're 7th in the Eastern Conference.
Are we?
Yeah, we're 7th, and it looks like the Nets are 9th. What's going on here?
It's early, but those are the facts.
The Nets are 9th. They're 3 and 4. They just lost tonight. KD and Kyrie had a chance to win it. They both had a shot to win it at the end of the game. And they didn't.
He had the shot. I don't know why he needed the 3, but that is, I guess, for him, it's easy.
It's Kyrie. It's Kyrie. He needed the 3.
He
was for his ego.
Right thing, but I thought he was gonna wet that because he always get them close range.
Exactly.
And he missed.
Listen, man. What y'all think about the Brooklyn Nets so far?
Yo, Milwaukee is 8th.
Milwaukee's 8th.
They haven't been winning.
I mean, they lost to the championship New York Knicks. So I mean, I completely understand.
Cleveland is 4th. Yeah, we gonna do number 5. If this
Listen, man, it's very early. It's very, very, very early.
But look who's sitting at 4th.
It's how we're winning.
Yeah, look at who's sitting at 4th.
Yeah, I mean, one of those 2 losses are from us. You know what I mean? So I'm not worried about that.
The more I look at it, this is looking possible. Right now, we be playing Orlando, and we got that in the 7-game series.
I mean, I hope so. I think Vucevic, don't get me wrong, Vucevic he's a baller. Vucevic is a baller, bro.
Put down like 25 the other night, too.
Yeah, Vucevic is a baller. And I mean, you know how we are with big men. So we're going to have all of them, even Amari Spellman out there by the time we get to that point because we're going
to get Amari Spellman. Yo, go get some fouls.
I'm excited to see Amari Spellman once they get him in shape because I think that's his issue. I think he's only I think he's out of shape. I think the issue has been his knee has been bothering him. But I think he came into camp. He was, with the COVID and everything, they didn't play ball for 9 months. So I think he was just out of shape, But
Hit the gym, young blood.
yeah, he's got to hit the gym. He's got to hit the gym. But he'll be back soon. Hopefully he can show us something because that was one of the guys I was excited for seeing to see. I guess coming into the season because he's the kind of forward that can do everything. He's the kind of big man that can do everything as long as he's in shape. He's athletic for a big guy. He can shoot. He's got some handle. You know what I mean? So that's somebody I want to see get in the rotation. Get a good 12 minutes in there. You know what I mean? A big body in there just for a little bit. Because between Nerlens coming on, once you sit Mitch, I mean, you don't really see Mitch get bullied like that. You know what I mean? I think the only time you see Mitch get into foul trouble is when guys get him in the air, and I don't think that's bullying him too much. I think that's just using his strength against him.
Nerlens gets bullied though.
Nerlens definitely gets bullied, and that's kind of why I want to back up. That's a big body. If you can get Amari in there behind him, I'd rather see that. You know what I mean? Because as long as he can be defensive, I don't know how defensive Amari Spellman can be. That's a big question mark, but we'll see how that goes. You know what I mean? Tomorrow, though, we are playing the Atlanta Hawks, who are 4-2. What are they? Are they 4-2?
Yeah, they
4-2.
See that's now speaking of the Hawks, that's one of the teams that scares me because the Knicks seem to be horrible at playing the 3-point.
At guarding the 3-point line. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just like everybody collapses and there's always somebody open, always.
The thing about them is that I don't think they're a great 3-point shooting team. I just think they have a guard who can shoot very, very well from the 3-point line, and everybody else is just mediocre if you leave them open. But we beat them before, you know what I mean? And that's with last year's team. You know what I mean? I don't even think they beat us last year, to be honest. I don't know. I might be wrong, but I do remember beating them. We played them 4 times. I think we definitely beat them at least 2-3 times. So Trae Young always goes off on us. That's just what he does. Matter of fact, one of those games was a double overtime game. I believe it was like a double overtime game with him. And he was giving us hell. But I'm not scared. If Burks is back, I think we good. I think once Burks get back, man, I think
if it's
go shot for shot. Yeah.
It's a problem because the way Burks can get his shot off and how confident he is and just pick and rolls with Mitch and Nerlens all day. You got somebody like that, even with Julius. I think that has a lot to do with the slope and how many assists Julius has been getting as well the past 2 games because Burks hasn't been there. So if you get the more shooters you get, guys like RJ and Julius will have better games because there are 2 guys as long as they're on the floor. Every single time RJ and Julius Randle on the floor, their man is just waiting for them to drive every single time. So that's 2 defenders at least that you're gonna have sitting in the paint. So you have to have those other 3 outside. You know what I'm saying? Spreading the floor because you're gonna need space for these guys to get to the basket. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with if he's. I think he's to be determined. Game time decision for Burks. Knox should be back at that point. I don't know. I think he might be out tomorrow. Actually, I think.
Who Knox?
Yeah, he might be out.
He's
a game time decision as well as Burks and DSJ as well. But I'm hoping that we sit him. I don't know what the heck is going to go on with that situation.
Sad story, man.
It's a sad story, but that's all we got. Thank you guys for tuning into the God of Knicks podcast. Like, subscribe, please hit that bell so that when we go live, anything we post, you guys will be notified as soon as it happens. Follow us everywhere at God Up Knicks. I'm Apollo Reed. Of course, you got who you guys introduce yourself.
You got Andre Jalil in the joint. I'm saying, like, I don't even know why you acting like that.
Yeah, go ahead. Do your thing.
I don't know why you acting like that. You got Andre Jalil in the joint. You know,
where can we find you? Where can we find you?
Yeah, you can find me like all over. I'm all over the internet. Yo, Google me, son. You got Andre Jalil over here. You got Andre. Hey, straight up and down, you got Andre Jalil over there. Yes, man. I'm you know what I'm saying? I'm on YouTube. Holla at me. Same way it's spelled right here, Andre Jalil. Matter of fact, hey, can I plug this real quick? I got a little song coming out on Friday.
You think?
Yo, somebody's little shit gonna be nice. You gotta check it out. You know what I mean? I'm gonna do a couple of videos with my Knicks hat on, stuff like that.
You gotta do that. Gotta show the love.
Not the Knicks.
Extra the love.
You can see your joint, man. It's
Yo,
all
man, you can see it. You
Oh,
can
there
see
you go.
that.
You
What
should
you
go.
mean? What
Okay.
you mean?
Okay, yeah, you gotta
I was
get
feeling bad because yours is big and then Dre, yours is huge. My joint is
a
like,
little joint.
It's like,
all
hey,
right,
it's like, hey,
all right.
it's all the way in the back, like, yo.
They be like, yo, Ricky, what team you rep? What team is that? Oh,
I'm like, can't you see?
Can't
there
you
you
see?
go.
Yeah, don't
You get
close
all
me.
Oh,
close.
what's that? What's that? Like that's like the gold plated joint.
Yeah,
No wonder it's so small. Cost what's that?
Like,
It's
yeah,
cost like
you got to get the
$100.
gold.
That's
The
$100 hat right there, bro.
nah, I'm not gonna say how much it is, but
Yeah,
it's a special hat, man. It's a special hat.
because
It
then,
looks
'cause
it
then you
looks like
just
a
be showing
special
off.
look.
You talk about how much that hat costs.
Fun,
I know you got a few in the cart right now, as you said.
Yeah, I got a few in the cart, man. Got a few in the cart.
You were not both. You were not both. But fellas, that's all we got. Like I said, follow us everywhere. Rick, did you plug where they can follow you?
Nah, GUK, Rick the Ruler on Twitter. It's Rick the Ruler GUK.
Rick the ruler, the way it's spelled right here.
Yep, Rick D Ruler.
With
And of
these
course,
I'm
it's crazy, bro. This guy he's like,
I'm
like,
just asking a question.
what the D stand for? Of course, and what was the F? this
Why is it a D?
guy. I mean, of course, me. You can find me anywhere.
I don't know what's going on here. I'm just trying.
Like I said, you can find me at Apollo Reed _ everywhere and at Guard Up Knicks podcast on Instagram. Thank y'all. Peace.
Yeah, I appreciate you, bro. Straight up, you running this shit. You should like a well-oiled machine.
There you go.
Yo, I'm dead ass. What you talking
Appreciate
about?
that. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you, bro.
What's the problem? What you talking about? This
Ain't
guy?
nothing wrong. Like in the come on, like that's my fault.
Yeah,
I appreciate that. I appreciate that. But thank you.
Yeah, I want
Peace.
my hoodie too. I want my hoodie. I'm waiting for my hoodie, man. This one ain't the one.
it's definitely gonna be dope though. So
It's gonna be dope. Don't worry.
All right.
Don't worry. We got you.
I ain't doing no more podcasts till I get my
dope.
Heard.